Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what is up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is well, doing good this Thursday morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Likewise, guys, if you are new to the stream, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out the stream. We do appreciate it. Check out the Telegram channel, link in the description there if you want to see my updates, trades, watches for the week videos I create as well. And if you are looking for a broker, check out my affiliate link to IC Markets at the top of the chat there. But welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is well. Tony Gold, as always, first on the stream a few times in a row now. But I hope you are well. Good morning, HT. Welcome to the stream. Okay, done for the week. Nice. I mean, it is Thursday, so we are starting to wrap things up. Igbo, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Morning. Anus, as always, morning. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. Sculpey TFX, good to see you on the stream. what is up? Respect to you as well. Blessings, what is up? Good morning, good morning. Seox, what is up? W, hope you are well, bro. Welcome to the old stream. But yeah, guys, been a pretty active past 24 hours for myself. Last time we spoke on the stream yesterday, wasn't in any positions. I had a bit of a slow kind of past maybe 8-10 days. No real trade since Thursday, not last week, but the week before on pound USD. But then I did enter pound CAD position yesterday, and I've just entered an AUD CAD position this morning. Excuse me. So yeah, currently in 2 trades. First one was pound CAD yesterday. That one price has seen some nice upside, but it just missed my first take profit. And we're seeing some downside at the moment. So I'm still currently full risk on this one, although on my funded account I am break even and possibly about to get taken out break even very, very soon on that position. But on my personal account, it's still live, still full risk on that position. Yeah, probably just got taken out break even there. But that'll be my 4th break even in a row on the challenge account. Hopefully we can get a winner soon. But yeah, still currently full risk on my personal account with this one. Price is basically at my entry price, but we entered off the wick here with the nice bullish engulfing on the hourly chart. Did see some nice momentum originally. However, we have kind of lost that momentum and looks like we're retracing. Possibly could come back for another retest of that potential area there. But I had some really good confidence with pound CAD. I've been watching this opportunity since probably the week before last, to be honest. I've been looking for longs for this one for quite a while. We've been very sluggish with the price action up there. But finally came back to retest some key areas here on the daily stroke the 4H. We've been in a consistent uptrend on the daily time frame, although it's not the neatest uptrend, but you can see we are still very consistent with the higher highs and higher lows, and still looking for that to continue back to the highs there on the left for possibly some new highs. So that's the plan, that's the thought process behind pound CAD. Got a nice entry signal in an area of confluence and looking for another swing to the upside. So we'll see how that position plays out. But like I said, I also just hopped into an AUD CAD short position. Just on that 4H candle. I was waiting for the 4H time frame to close. I normally do enter on the hourly, but the reason I waited for the 4H is because on the 4H time frame we're actually closing above that resistance and the trend line simultaneously yesterday. So I was looking at shorts yesterday, but we did close above, so I had to back away because potentially AUD CAD could have done something like this and kept going bullish. But with the 4H candle, gave me the confirmed candle closure that this is potentially just a fake out on the lower time frames, and price is now back underneath my area of confluence, so the trade is now valid again. But again, AUD CAD shorts have been looking at this position for the past maybe 2-3 weeks now. Finally got the confirmation I'm looking for, and again looking for a swing back down to the lows here on the daily chart. So that's where I'm targeting, and the first take profit is this low here around 0.866. So we'll see how both positions do pan out. But yeah, I haven't taken a trade for about maybe 8-9 days, and then 2 in space of 24 hours. That's how trading can be sometimes. Anyway, so I'm entered now on AUD CAD. It is an high probability setup. Yes, otherwise I wouldn't be looking to take it. What's up, funny moments? Hope you are good. Welcome to the stream. Why you enter buying pound CAD is short on AUD CAD is only a question. Yeah, I was contemplating not entering the AUD CAD short because obviously it does contradict the pound CAD position, but I'm happy with the risk. With the pound CAD position, it's obviously on the hourly time frame I'm entering 4H. I've got a slightly bigger buffer on the AUD CAD position. Again, makes sense not to enter the position, but I'm happy to take the risk on both trades. Again, they are quite correlated, but I'm expecting to see a lot more Aussie weakness, and I do think pound can maintain its strength, but we'll have to see with how they play out. Are you looking forward to enter again if it closes on break even on your funded account? If I do get another entry signal, then I will contemplate entry again. I predominantly like taking trades on the first test. I don't necessarily like getting on the second or third test. So if I do get into a trade and it stops me out break even, I'm not too particularly keen on getting in the second or third entry. I like taking the first time price comes into my area of confluence, and that's the time I look to take my trades. I will consider it depending how we react. If you do fire some strong wicks into that particular area, give me some nice bullish engulfings on the hourly, then yeah, I'll consider maybe entering again. But if it doesn't look how I want it to look, if it doesn't fit the bill, then I will just move on to the next opportunity. But yeah, I will still keep an eye. I'm still holding on my personal account, so still a long way to go for that trade. Sergio, what is up? Miko, hope you're doing okay. Looking on gold, moves started yesterday. Yeah, we did see a lot of upside for gold yesterday. We were expecting some retracement for gold. Looks like we're finally getting it. But yeah, we'll go through gold. Yeah, maybe 80 CAD looks better than 80 CAD. Okay, pound CAD. Yeah, potentially now. I mean, potentially now because obviously 80 CAD's coming back down. But at the time of entering, I would say they kind of fit the bill. Exact same trades, kind of. Both of them I'm expecting to get to a major swing high or low. So pound CAD, I'm looking for us to get back to the swing high over there. Pound with 80 CAD, I'm looking for us to get to the swing low down there and down there. So it's very, very similar trades, both coming back, retesting some price swing highs, swing lows as well with 80 CAD there. And with pound CAD doing the exact same thing over here on the left too. So they're very, very similar trades, similar confirmations, similar rejections. So at the moment, of course, with pound CAD retracing and 80 CAD potentially moving a little bit to the downside, looks a little bit better now, but they look equally as good in my opinion. It's just up to the market which trade plays out. But yeah, we'll take a look at gold, no problemo. Analyze Euro CAD, sure, we'll take a look as well. 80 CAD looks very clean. Yeah, it does look decent. Hopefully we could see some nice downside for that one. Still a long way to go. But there's not a lot of pips in 80 CAD because this is a nice 4H candle entry, and I think the stop loss is only like it's less than 40 pips. Normally, if I'm entering the 4H, I'm looking at 50 plus, maybe 100, touching 100, and some occasions like pound AUD, pound entity, yen pairs. But yeah, not a lot of pips in 80 CAD. But yeah, I'm happy with the entry, happy with the analysis. So we'll see how things pan out. Let's take a look at gold. So gold did see a lot of upside yesterday. Again, we'll be favoring some retracement after gold just pinched these lows here on the left, been favoring to see some upside for gold. I'm very bearish still on gold, so I'm not looking for buys or looking to see even catch a move here to the upside. But if we can come a little bit higher to around 1935, 1940 area, that'll be fantastic. And then I'll start looking for some short opportunities to take gold back down again after we just pinched those lows on the daily time frame, looking for a bigger retracement, which looks like we've got on our hands right here. So I just need price to come back into area of confluence and then start waiting for some confirmations to go short again. So for gold, I'm anticipating another lower high forming somewhere. Again, this is where I'm looking for it to form. It not necessarily has to, but it would be nice if you can see a push into that level, and then we can start looking for some confirmations. But for me, in terms of direction for gold, I am still bearish. So nothing has really changed in terms of my directional bias, what I'm expecting for gold going into the rest of the week and next week as well. I'm still quite bearish on this pair. But obviously I need to see some development now because we're looking quite bullish. Wouldn't want to short it just yet. This price is not at any particular area of interest either. So I need price to come a little bit higher, then I'll start considering to short gold. But yeah, I'm getting ready for it. Possibly there might be some shorter term buy opportunities as price might still trickle a little bit higher. But again, I'm not really interested. Still quite heavily focused on the sales at the moment. EuroCAD will take a look as well. But if pound CAD go long, 80 CAD go to stop loss, yeah, potentially they could obviously do the opposite of each other. So if pound CAD was to play out, then 80 CAD probably will hit stop loss and vice versa as well. But of course, with a positive risk to reward on both trades, if that was the case and one was to hit stop loss and one was to hit TP, then obviously the positive risk reward will make up for that. So I'll still be in profit, whichever way happens. But there will be a case scenario where potentially both of them could be losses, even though it is unlikely, but both of them could be losses and possibly both could be winners as well. have been in a case where that has happened before, but obviously quite unlikely. But we will see. Toka, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. I'm doing good. Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to have you on the stream as well. Finally took in some trades. Got two positions running at the moment. It's been a while since I've entered the position, but finally got two opportunities which I'm in right now. Some Aussie CAD shorts and pound CAD longs. Jezreel, welcome to the stream. Hope you are good. Welcome. Christian, ouch, I actually shorted gold. Yeah, sometimes you're going to get burnt. Play with fire, you're going to get burnt. I'm joking. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're going to take a trade, it doesn't play out. Sometimes you take a trade, it does play out. As long as you entered and you took the trade for all the right reasons, then it doesn't necessarily matter, as long as you manage risk as well, because it well and truly is a numbers game. So if you take a loss here, you take a win there, it's all about what it adds up. Yeah, at the end of the day, not necessarily the day, but the week, the month, the quarter, the year. But yeah, if you took the trade for the right reasons, follow the plan, then and you manage risk as well, then it's not to worry. Just look for the next opportunity and make sure you do all the right things again. Dollar yen, euro AUD, no problem, Jansen. We'll take a look as well. I'm long both from support. Nice, we'll take a look. Investrology, what is up? Could you take a look at oil and pound yen? Thanks a lot, no problem. What's up, Egbo? Your analysis on euro yen and pound yen. We'll go through some yen pairs as well. Muth, what is up? Gold. SR 1833. Okay, is that your trades? I will take a look at gold and euro USD though. What's up, Simon? I'm in some GJ sells from today. Okay, a few people talking about pound yen. Tino, are you Somali or Ethiopian? No, I am not. I normally get confused with Somali or Ethiopian, but I'm not, unfortunately. Okay, so I'll take a look at Euro AUD, no, Euro CAD first. That was requested a while ago. So I'll take a look at Euro CAD and I'll go through dollar yen, Euro AUD, oil, pound yen. We'll go through some yen pairs as well. Yeah, Euro CAD. So Euro CAD's basically consolidating still. I haven't really been looking at this pair much, but we do have some equal highs more or less up here and some equal lows down here. So pretty much within this range, I'm not looking to do anything with EuroCAD. In terms of a directional bias, I'm not too particularly clear either as which way I'm favoring with EuroCAD, because if I do zoom out, EuroCAD is both making consecutive lower highs as well, but also consecutive higher lows too. So I'm not favoring one direction or the other. I need price to start breaking through some highs first, so start taking off some highs, and then okay, I'll favor more upside, or start breaking through some lows, then I'll favor more downside, and the direction will be very, very clear. But for me, with my trading style, I rely on having kind of a crystal clear directional bias and a healthy trend to take advantage of. If I don't have a crystal clear bias or a healthy trend to take advantage of, then for me, I'll be staying out that market because I know my edge is not going to be as strong as I would like it to be. And this is one of those case scenarios where I can make a good reason why we could potentially fall and a good reason why we potentially could rise as well. So for EuroCAD, because all of those reasons, I'm kind of staying away, and especially with that consolidation of the 4H, it kind of just sums it up for itself really. So I want price to start breaking through some highs or breaking through some lows, and then I'll start looking for some trends off the back of that, and looking to take some trade in the break and retest of some level somewhere. Same thing to the upside as well. So that's kind of my outlook with EuroCAD. But yeah, it looks like we're comfortably in a range here. So I will be staying away until we see a bit more evidence of where price is going towards. Okay, so we'll take a look at dollar yen and euro AUD as well. So yeah, dollar yen, this one saw some downside yesterday. We did see some downside for the yen pairs. Obviously, price was quite bearish when we last spoke on the stream, but even after the stream, the yen pairs kind of kept falling a little bit. But since then, kind of towards the end of the day, across the Asian session, we have found some strength for the yen pairs, dollar yen included. So I was favoring some buys for this one coming into the week, but we never quite lined up with the area I was looking to buy from. So we had the original area at 145. I was also looking at this particular trend line coming into play, which looks like price kind of dipped into the trend line and obviously broke through the level of support as well. But it looks like it has redeemed that, climb back above, and actually using that as support, and potentially could see some more upside for dollar yen. Again, even with the downside that we have saw over the past day or so, my bias for dollar yen is still very much to the upside, and pretty much for all the main yen pairs, or not necessarily main yen pairs, but most of the yen pairs, pound yen, euro yen, CAD yen anyway. All of those pairs I'm still pretty bullish on. Maybe CAD yen's a little bit here, but pound yen, euro yen still pretty bullish on long term. We might still see a bit more downside in the short term, and I'll touch on those pairs in a minute. But for dollar yen, I still do favor more upside, especially as we have recovered 145 and still holding that area of confluence. So for dollar yen, for me, looking for push back to highs. Again, I wouldn't be too greedy with targets with this one because we are a little bit choppy now. But we're still holding 145, which obviously was a very key resistance previously. Big move to the downside there last time we reacted with that level. Price is now climbing back above that. If we can hold 145, I'm expecting us to make our way back to the highs at 146,500. So that is the plan there for dollar yen. You said you long dollar yen. So yep, I do agree with that trade. Looking very, very healthy there. Let's hope momentum can sustain in your direction. Euro AUD will take a look as well. This one you said you're long as well, so I suppose maybe you're looking to get long from this support. Do line up with the swing high then on the left as well. So you're long from this particular area. Not a bad place. I do like Euro AUD, but I was talking about this one yesterday, saying I would like to see a little bit more downside into this particular area here before I look to long the pair. It's still anticipating more upside. We still do have a comfortable bullish trend at play here through multiple time frames. If you look at the daily, the weekly, the monthly, maybe not so much the monthly, but the weekly, the daily, still very, very bullish, and still seeing higher highs and higher lows. So I do favor more upside for Euro AUD. However, I just like this area a little bit better just because there's more confidence down here. And I think we're coming to some nice fib levels as well, maybe the 50 or the 0.618 of the prior swing. So yeah, coming to that particular area. So I like this area a little bit better because there's more confidence, but at the same time, this is obviously a solid level of broken resistance. It's the broken swing high, which is now turned support. So equally, we could hold that area there too, and obviously see a swing to the upside. I think you probably will be targeting the highs there around 1.70500. So it's a sensible trade. Both are very sensible trades. I like the look of them. It makes sense from a directional standpoint as well. Higher time frames are in your favor as well. So yeah, let's see what happens. But yeah, it looks like a good couple of trades you got placed there. And let's just see what the market does from then on. We'll take a look at some, I'll take a look at oil first. We'll go through some yen pairs, pound yen, euro yen requested a couple times. What's up, Trippy? Looking to short dollar yen on 1H 145.344 area. Okay, I'm pretty bullish on dollar yen, but we'll touch on that short opportunity. 145.344. Where is that? 145.344. Okay, so that's pretty much where we are right now. So yeah, it's not a bad place to sell. I can see why you're selling it, because obviously we have broke to the downside, taking out some of these lows. Nice shift in momentum there, coming back to retest that. So it's not a bad place to short, and it does make sense. And of course, if it does fit your plan, you take the trade. The only thing I don't like about shorting dollar yen right now is because, well, number one, the high time frames are still pretty bullish, and number two, we have came back above this 145 area. So although we did break through it, we're back above it, and especially that trend line there as well. So if you do catch some shorts from this particular area, you are coming into a very strong area of confidence for the buyers. So in terms of risk to reward, we could see price bounce off that and come back to your entry pretty quickly. So it depends how you manage the trade, if it's worthwhile. But if you are looking to get short there, I would keep an eye for 145. There's a strong confluence about that area. We could potentially break through and go further as well. Just because it's a strong area of confluence doesn't mean we have to hold it. But from a trading standpoint, it's not the best to be shorting into that particular area, no matter really the opportunity. But of course, if it does fit your plan, go for it. I don't want to talk you out of a position that fits your plan. But yeah, I'm pretty bullish on dollar yen for now. Higher time frames, looking at the daily chart as well, I'm still seeing higher highs and higher lows on the longer term scale as well. As we can see here, low, high, low, and new highs created. Even if you look at the minor trend as well, seeing higher highs and higher lows, completely missed the low there. So potentially could be seeing another low there on the retest of that structure. So yeah, I'm a buyer of dollar yen. Well, I'm not buying dollar yen, but I would be bullish on dollar yen because of that price action. But yeah, it does make sense to short because we have taken out the lows and we're coming back to a nice area of supply resistance, but I'm not too sure it will hold. So yeah, that's just my 2 pence. Anyway, we'll take a look at oil and then we'll go into pound yen, euro yen as well. Aussie dollar, we'll take a look too, no problem. Forex, I'm in GJ buys at 183.900. What's your view on it? Got in yesterday. Okay. We'll take a look. CTOKA was up. So I'm selling pound USD from 1.27. Oh yeah, is that from the trade a few weeks back? Back to 1.26, 150, maybe new lows. I would also love to catch a sell on NASDAQ if it goes the way. I'm not interested in buys though. Okay, so yeah, NASDAQ, US 100, we were talking about sells yesterday, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we were. But yeah, pound USD had a very hefty rejection at that 1.26, 150 area yesterday. I'll touch on it in a second, but I would still favor sells for pound, but that consolidation is looking strong. Anyway, so let me go through oil first and let me catch up with some of the pairs. Okay, so oil, I did say yesterday sales still look good. I do like the sales for oil, still kind of holding this 70, nope, completely wrong. Still holding this 82, 83 level of resistance on the higher time frames. We had a really nice rejection a couple of days back. So I did say I'm looking for price to come back into this high here. And first things first, this high here. So next kind of target 77, but we are kind of looking for more 74, 75 for the next kind of major move for oil. So shorts do look good from that perspective. I did say yesterday that this looks like a nice area to short from. I think we tested it. Did we get a retest? More or less, we might just missed it by a few pips, but potentially could come back up again there, double top it, and then potentially sell off. Maybe might have a deeper retracement, but I really do like this 79.50 level there. For some selling opportunities, back down to 77, and of course longer term target 74.50. But as you can see with the structure, we were creating higher highs and higher lows. Since then we have obviously broke structure and now forming lower lows and lower highs. So now anticipating a pullback, a lower high somewhere, and continuation to the downside. There we go. Off the back of another lower high. So that's kind of what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for oil. Bearish bias for this one. Offers very strong reaction of the higher time frame key area. I'm liking the momentum, I'm liking the structure. Just if we can get a decent pullback, some decent entry signals, and then you can look to ride that one to the downside as well. But yeah, definitely bearish. 77, 74.50. Next key targets for oil. Pound yen, euro yen. So pound yen again for this one. Longer term, I'm still pretty bullish with pound yen, and when I mean longer term, I'm normally typically talking about the daily and the weekly time frames when I say longer term. So as we can see, the market is still pretty bullish on the higher time frames. So nothing's really changed. We had a nice bearish candle here, but that doesn't really change the direction of this trend per se. So I'm still expecting more upside. However, on the 4H time frame, we have obviously formed these equal highs here. We have broken some structure, so it's kind of a bit like a double top there. So I do like the breaking retest of this area here. I think someone said they're short on pound yen. And this is a very reasonable place to go short from breaking retest of the prior low. There's a good chance we could see another swing to the downside, back to these lows. And I was also talking about this area here yesterday too. That could make up for a really nice target for pound yen. Nice little intraday move there back to 183 area. So shorts do make sense for pound yen. Shorts do make sense for pound yen from a more of an intraday short-term move perspective. Again, it potentially could turn out to be a lot bigger of a trade than expected. We could sell off, reverse potentially. I can't see the future. All I can do is just look at what makes the most sense right now. Higher time frames, still very bullish until I see more information telling me otherwise. From a 4H perspective, it does look like we could still see some more downside after breaking some structure. So 183 does look likely for pound yen. It does look likely for pound yen. I think someone said they're also in a buy as well, or looking to buy maybe. Okay, GJ buy 186,677. Where's that? 186. Okay, are you buying it to those highs? So that's your target, 677. So that's more or less the highs up there. Or unless you're saying you're gonna buy if price breaks through the resistance. Either way, if it does break through the resistance, then yeah, that would make some sense. Although I would hold off buying now, predominantly because obviously we just broken through some structure and we're coming back into that resistance there. So it's kind of up to pound yen if we can hold that resistance or not. If you start breaking through, I probably still would avoid buys as well, because we do have this area slightly higher up, which I probably would expect some type of reaction from as well. But at the moment, it makes sense for some sales, some nice counter trend opportunities, but I do expect eventually us to snap bullish again. Whether it happens over there or maybe slightly deeper down, that'll be up to pound yen, but I do see some short-term sell opportunities. And 183 looks like a nice healthy target to aim for. Even the lows here as well, you don't necessarily have to push it to 183. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for pound yen. And euro yen, something similar as well. Euro yen, of course, we broke through the lows here. This one had a triple top, bit more spectacular than the pound yen double top. And this one, of course, broke through some lows as well. So I did say yesterday some shorts do look good from euro yen. Coming back into this area here, again, looks like we've just about tagged it, more or less, or maybe missed it by a pip or so. But if you can see some healthy rejection in that 158 area, I do fancy another move to the downside. Again, similar to pound yen and the higher time frames, euro yen for me is still a comfortable bullish trend. So I would be still expecting more upside. I do expect these highs to be taken out eventually. Whether we move to the downside one more time and then push, or push right now, that'll be up to euro yen. But I am still pretty bullish on euro yen from a daily standpoint. So 4H time frame, hourly time frame, some short-term sales look good. Back to some of these areas here. This could also be a nice little target. Those wicks there around 156, 600 we'll call it. So that could also be a nice short-term target, but I wouldn't be too overly confident with the sales for the yen pairs just yet. I know we have seen some really nice downside, some really nice momentum over the past couple of days or so, but it hasn't really broken any significant structure in the higher time frames. But that's kind of my outlook on both of those. Okay, so we'll take a look at AUD USD next. If I have missed out a pair, let me know. I don't believe I have. Euro AUD, did I take it? Yeah, I did look at Euro AUD. So yeah, we'll take a look at AUD USD next, and Pound USD as well. We'll go take a look at NASDAQ as well. Do I know FX Alex G? I have seen some of his videos, yes, on YouTube. Don't know him personally, if that's what you're asking, but yeah, I have seen some of his content on YouTube. Euro USD, Pound USD analysis. Yeah, we'll take a look at AUD USD first, and I'll take a look at Pound USD, Euro USD as well. Can we have a look at dollar CAD? Sure thing, Ross. We'll take a look. Miko, where do you see yourself within 5 years? Good question. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Hopefully starting my own kind of capital management kind of firm. Not like a prop firm, but something more exclusive to like a group of traders and managing large capital. Not really like managing other people's money. I mean, at the start, probably, but long term, no. I want to be managing my own money with other people as well. And yeah, I want to create a big community as well, YouTube wise, and probably off YouTube as well. And yeah, possibly, maybe not in the UK either, potentially. Not too sure where, but yeah, I want a nice little change from the typical London scene. Although I love London, London's a great city, but probably do want to change it up. Maybe I might come back, but yeah, change it up somewhere. But yeah, I need to do some research into where, because I'm not too sure. I've got a few places in mind, but I haven't been to the places that I'm thinking of just yet. So I need to go check them out first. But yeah, that's kind of more or less where I want to see myself in 5 years. 5 years I'll be 28 years old, so it's more or less. Okay, so first let me go take a look at AUD/USD, and I'll go take a look at Euro and Pound. Okay, so AUD/USD. So yeah, pretty bearish on this one. Pretty bearish, as I've been speaking for quite a while now with AUD/USD. Keep talking about this infamous 0.62 level. That's still what I'm expecting price to head towards longer term. However, again, I'm not seeing really good opportunities short just yet. I can see we are retesting this broken swing low here. So that's not bad, but it lacks a little bit more confidence than that. I need a little bit more than just the level of resistance or level of support to take a trade. So I do want to see a bit more development from that aspect. But AUD/USD, I still do expect a lot more downside for this particular market. I'm still looking at 0.62. I would love to see price come a little bit higher, although I'm not too sure if we'll see that happen. I might be asking a little bit too much from AU, but it would be nice if you can push into 0.66 into that particular area up there. But in terms of direction, I do see a lot more downside for AU. Looks like, again, a slightly a little bit more healthy pullback than we had yesterday. Yesterday we had a more or less consolidation, so I wasn't really much of a fan of it. But this time you do have a bit more of a slant to it. It looks a bit more like a bear flag. If you see a nice shift in momentum, possibly could see a next drop to the downside pretty soon with AUD/USD. But yeah, I would like to see price come a little bit higher. And also I'm an AD CAD as well, so I'm not really interested to get into AUD/USD as well right now. But yeah, in terms of direction, I'm looking at 0.62 down there, down at these lows here. So not a bad place to short. Possibly if you come back for a retest, that could be a possible place to look for some re-entries if you're not involved. But yeah, I do think we can see a big move soon. I'm not too sure if we'll see it this week, maybe next week. I think price might be waiting for a big news event as a catalyst for the move. But yeah, I do think we'll see a lot more downside. Okay, so where are we? So yeah, Euro/USD, pound. I'll take a look at pound USD first, and take a look at Euro as well. 0.67153. Is that where you shorted from? Is that a target? 67. Okay, is that? Oh, you're long. Are you long till there? Yeah, I have no idea. You just said that number. 67153. So that's all the way up at these areas up there. So yeah, I have no idea. You're looking to buy up there, sell down there? Let me know. Anyway, so pound USD, we're looking very bearish last time we talked about this one. Oh, we started looking a little bit bearish there, to be fair. But we were looking at pound USD a lot yesterday. A lot of people were looking at pound USD, and we had the consolidation. We got the high up there, we got the low down here, and we were looking pretty bearish. And I said if we can break out the consolidation, take out the lows at 1.26200 more or less, then I'll be keen for some sells underneath that area for a break and retest, because we're finding out the range. We can probably finally see a bigger move to the downside. However, we had a very sharp reaction at that level there, very sharp impulsive move, but it doesn't look like it's equated to much. Prices respected some resistance within the range there and has seen a hefty reaction to the downside. So we'll see if that momentum can continue. But in terms of a directional standpoint, I'm still kind of neutral. With pound USD. So I'm not trying to look too much into the price action right now. I mean, I still do favor a break to the downside because of this bearish trend at play here. I do think this is kind of like a pause in that trend, and we're likely to see another break to the downside. So that's kind of what I have in my head. But am I going to take a trade because of that? No, I'm not seeing a good opportunity to do that. In fact, I was in a trade a couple of weeks back, but since then I've been taking out break even. So now I'm just waiting for another good opportunity to get back involved. And I would need price to actually break out of that consolidation for me to actually get back into a trade. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for pounds. Likewise, the upside as well doesn't necessarily have to break the downside. If we do start giving us some higher highs and higher lows, I'll be keen to buy it as well. Possibly could see a push back to the highs there too. So I can see pound USD going both ways, but at the moment we're still trading comfortably in the range. I think Toka said you're still in a sell. Maybe some new lows. I would also love to catch Nasdaq buys. No, Nasdaq sells though. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean Nasdaq sells are not bad. It has broken some structure here, but it does look like we could be forming a major lower high, as in we've got a high over there, second there, potentially a third there as well. And it looks like we are coming back into retest this level here of support, or just about missed it, but we might still come and tag it. So sells do make a lot of sense from that aspect. I mean, I'd wait for a little bit more signs that we are about to sell off, because we are very, very bullish at the moment. But the sells do make sense there, and potentially could see another drop to the downside, almost like a big head and shoulder pattern. Maybe a little bit optimistic, but it does make sense. So yeah, I do like the sells there for Nas. I do like the sells, but yeah, I'd wait for a bit more evidence that we are forming that high though. But I would have to agree with you, Toka. Okay, so we'll take a look at Euro next, dollar CAD as well. Hayden, Euro USD entry 1.08. Okay, we'll go through that trade, no problemo. Pound USD, what's SR? I don't know what SR stands for. Support, is it? Yeah, I don't know what SR stands for, but I'll take a look at pound USD. I mean, I just did take a look at pound USD, didn't I? Angelo, what is up? Got here right after your gold analysis. Did you say you were bullish or bearish for that pair? So yeah, I'm bearish on gold. I'm looking for a big move to the downside soon come. I'm not too sure when we'll see it, because at the moment everything is still pretty bullish with gold. So I'm waiting for a bit more development from gold, but I'm looking at a bigger move to the downside for this particular pair. So I'm bearish. I'm treating this bullish move here as a pullback of this big move to the downside. So when I see what I'm looking for develop, lower highs, lower lows, I'll be keen to look for some shorts for another move attacking these lows here. Again, I expect more downside, but I probably won't hold the trade past this low here. So yeah, I'm bearish on gold, looking for a lower high to develop and another move back down, but it's still very early doors for me to start looking for any trades just yet. Ping, what is up? As you, I am in short AUD CAD a bit earlier than you, and also AUSD. Nice. We'll see how that goes. I'm pretty bearish on the Aussie, so let's hope that bias can come through. Yeah, we just had a look at AUSD. You'll be the market maker. In other words, I'll love to be the market maker, but yeah, I don't think that'll be quite possible. I'll be in that group of traders maybe. Of course, saying this, of course. I mean, I'll be sure to put you through your test. But yeah, because I'm thinking like to have like a well-rounded group, like some economists, people very, very knowledgeable about fundamentals, obviously people very analytical as well, some hardcore kind of traders as well, to kind of have like a nice balanced group. But yeah, the goal is just basically have as much capital as possible and trade it with a few group of people. Because when you start managing a lot of capital, it's difficult to manage it by yourself in terms of, from a stress point of view, and just just managing a lot of capital, and it's a lot of pressure to put on one person's head. But if you can get a group of people, should suffice. Time does pass quickly in August. I'm excited to start the Q4. Yeah, it's crazy how time flies. About to start Q4, last quarter of the year. Yeah, time is going so quick. I literally remember coming onto the stream, starting the streams January, talking about it's a new year. Let's be focused. Let's go achieve our targets, our goals. And now it's already coming up to Q4. And next thing we'll know, it'll be the end of the year, and I'll be talking about 2024. So yeah, time is flying. Weird. So I hope it doesn't go too quickly though. Anyway, so Euro USD. So yeah, Euro. What did we see? We saw a little bit of upside, but nothing too crazy in particular. So we did see this big bullish candle, but again, it didn't really break any significant structure. So like with Pound USD, with that big move to the upside as well, we didn't break through any significant structure. We're still within the range, so I never really took too much interest in that big bullish engulfing candle. If that momentum sustained and we broke through the highs, then yeah, that's something to be interested in, but we never did that. So even with this down move here as well, I'm still waiting for price just to break through the high or break through the low. Euro USD, on the other hand, has a comfortable bearish trend at play, and it has done for a while now. As you can see, the market's been making successive lower lows for quite a period of time, and also lower highs as well. So Euro USD has been bearish for a while. It's taking out some key lows here on the left too as well. So I do think Euro USD, as long as we maintain this bearish trend, may have a lot more downside left. The next significant low is this support level here, trading around 1.06800. I would be a little bit careful shorting Euro USD at the moment, because we are still kind of holding on to the support level. You can see the daily candle there wicked through the level, pull back up, and did close bullish. So potentially you could still see a potential reversal for Euro if you do hold into this level. But if you do crack back underneath, then yeah, sales become golden again. So if you can break through lower lows, retest, see the next lower high, that would be a quality trade opportunity. But taking some shorts now for Euro, you're kind of coming into a key level of support. So that's a bit of a red flag in my books. It could break through, of course, if the trend wants to continue. It could obviously break through, of course, but I wouldn't want to be taking a trade on top of the level. I'd rather take a trade as we break through and retest it. And again, if we are going to break through, there's still a long way to go. So there isn't necessarily need to get right at the top there and try and force something that might not be quite there. But yeah, Euro, I'm still bearish. Trend is still pushing, but I would be pausing a little bit because of the support we're trading at right now. So I would kind of pause, see what happens, because the reversal is on the cards. We could potentially, start reversing to the upside, breaking through some structure. Maybe there could be some nice buys, next week, or I wouldn't say this week. It's already Thursday. Need some development, so probably early next week there might be some nice buys with Euro. So this is still a big possibility if we do hold on to the support level. But at the same time, if we break through, the sells look good as well. So I'm just going to pause a little bit with Euro USD. Still very bearish because of the lower lows and lower highs we're still seeing. But not willing to get into some shorts yet, and not willing to buy it. Just need to wait for a bit of development first. Good morning, old golden bones. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. From America, nice. Up early, or you haven't gone to bed yet? Either which way, welcome to the stream. Is there a daily trend line on Euro? Yeah, not that I know of. And there probably is some type of trend line somewhere. But I wouldn't say a neat one though. I mean, this arguably could have been a nice one there with first test down here, second test, third, fourth, fifth. Kind of looks like we might be breaking through it a little bit. If you're connecting the major swing lows, then there is still a trend line there present, but we're not quite into that trend line there potentially. But yeah, there is a couple trend lines to look at there on Euro Yen, but I wouldn't say we're testing that major one just yet. And the one that I just drew originally looks like we might be breaking through that as well. So that could add some confidence for a reason for a move to the downside first. But for Euro Yen, the daily trend is still very much to the upside, and you don't necessarily need a trend line to identify that. Obviously, the trend line adds a little bit of confidence to the position, but we can still see the trend is very much to the upside. So Euro Yen, although I do favor an intraday move to the downside, or maybe the rest of the week, we might see the move to the downside. It might not necessarily start and finish today, but I do like the sell opportunity there on the lower time frames. When start your group of traders, I'd love to be a part of it. Yeah, I'm gonna launch a group Discord channel pretty soon. I've got some material which I'm finishing publishing off. So once I finish that, then I'll probably start that. So probably sometime September, mid-September, end September, depends when I get my website sorted out as well. So I need to finish that and have it presented the way I need it to be. But once I get that finished and finish with my material as well, then I'll launch the group. Phrenesis, what is up? Morning. Long on Nasdaq. What's your thoughts? Okay. Well, when did you get long? Did you get long this morning or yesterday? Let us know. But we'll take a look at Nasdaq. Why not start a Discord, bro, with a few members and yourself? Build a community where everyone can share their ideas, come together, and help each other alongside what you do. I mean, I do kind of have a group chat already for that, but I will be creating a more premium group chat on Discord in September. So exactly what I was talking to Funny Moments about. But I do have a group chat on Telegram, which a lot of people discuss, share ideas, and discuss trades. So anyone interested in that, link in the description. I'm pretty sure it's there. If not, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is there. So if you go in the description, you'll see there's two Telegram links. One to the main chat where I share my posts and ideas and watch this, but there should be a second one there. If not, then I'll update that and make sure it is there. But if there's two links, one will be to the main group chat, the second will be to a group chat where other people can discuss and talk. But I will be creating a more premium group chat on Discord as well. So that will probably come around September time. But yeah, I'm building something for that purpose. Yeah, pound 80 will take a look as well. Looking for a sell on pound. Yeah, I'm not myself, but I do like the sells on lower time frames because again, I look at a wide range of markets, so I can see multiple opportunities, but I know which for my personal trading I'm focused on. So for Euro Yen, this looks like a good sell, but I'm not going to take the sell because I'm focused on different set of pairs. I'm currently in 2 trades at the moment. So I'm not looking to take another one until I can get one of these to break even. Pound CAD in a little bit of drawdown and AUD CAD in a little bit of profit. Of course, they're kind of inverse of each other, so could be expecting that to happen. But until I get one of them to break even at least, or I get stopped out of one, then I can start looking for some other positions. But 2 trades is enough for me at one time. Anyway, so I said I was going to take a look at... completely forgot. USD CAD, I was going to take a look at that one, but also pound AUD as well. We'll take a look at that one, and Nasdaq and dollar yen too. So yeah, USD CAD, we were quite bullish on this one, favoring price to break through the resistance here, and we did break through the resistance. However, it was not sustained. Price came straight back down again after that big bullish move, and we'll talk about DXY in a second because we kind of saw the exact same price action on the DXY too. But we did see a really big break to the upside past 1.35759. So that's kind of the resistance I was looking for price to break. And I said if you can break through that, it could have been a nice break and retest for some buying opportunities and a continuation higher, because we were seeing these higher lows for dollar CAD. Did see a nice breakout. However, we came straight back down. So it looks like it just gave us a big fake of that level there. And potentially might be a reversal. it might start a reversal. I'm not buying into it just yet, but dollar CAD, I still expect to see a move up to that resistance. We may take a dive first, the downside, and retrace and then push, or we might continue anyway. But either which way, I'm still pretty bullish till that level. But obviously after that price action, you don't really want to be getting to some buys just yet. Possibly could actually see price take a turn. So if dollar CAD can get back above the high there, then buys do look good again for dollar CAD. But if not, we could potentially form a lower high and actually start reversing to the downside and have that bigger move that I was talking about on the daily chart. So dollar CAD, I'll be careful from that. At the moment, we'll kind of just come back into a ranging market almost. Some equal lows there, equal highs. So I would kind of stay put for USD CAD, not trying to do anything right now direction. Although I still am bullish from the pair, I wouldn't say so very clear on the lower time frames. This is the hourly chart. 4H is basically consolidation as well within that range. So I would be a little bit hesitant getting to any opportunities right now for dollar CAD. If you start breaking through the high again or breaking through the low, there could be some nice counter trend sells here. If we can break through 1.35 and likewise some nice buys to that next key level. But in here, 50-50, we could form a lower high, we could start pushing up again. Don't really have a clear-cut idea of what we could see next with dollar CAD in this particular area. But if we can break underneath it, things do begin to clear up. Same thing with breaking to the upside. So dollar CAD, I'm bullish on the pair. I do favor more upside, but at the moment I'll be kind of pausing, similar to Euro USD and pound, because we're kind of choppy right now, and haven't got a clear-cut opportunity at the moment, but could be seeing some soon. Do we have some dollar news coming out later? I think we do, if my memory serves me correctly. We had obviously PPI yesterday. And today, yes, we do have some dollar news. Jobless claims at 1:30 London time. So yeah, we do have some dollar news. Maybe that could spark some movement in dollar CAD and other dollar pairs as well. But yeah, I've got a feeling that most of these pairs are kind of waiting for some news to get going. Euro USD, pound still stuck in that range. It might take some big news for us to break out. Do you have NFP next week, Friday? So obviously the 1st of September. But yes, we do. Yes, we do have NFP. Lovely stuff. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what I'm favoring for USD CAD. I'll touch on the DXY. DXY kind of did something similar as well. So DXY was still kind of trading at a very key area of confluence as well, which is what we're talking about for the past couple of days. Big resistance through that level there, big trend line there too, and giving us all these lower highs as well. So potentially we could actually see DXY give us another lower high and possibly a swing to the downside. So there is a big possibility for a lot of weakness for the dollar if we fall over from this area. However, dollar's still holding on for dear life. We are still throwing wicks to the upside. Yesterday, we were very bullish above this level. I did say make sure to wait for the daily candle closure to kind of cement the breakout, because although, yes, we're quite bullish on the lower time frames, but the daily candle does have a lot of power. And if we were to see a daily candle closure above, then yeah, going forward for the rest of the week and into next week, we can favor a lot more upside. But now that we have pulled back and closed bearish, it's now more 50-50. We could potentially hold this area and sell off. We could potentially see another candle closure back above here and possibly continue to the upside anyway. So it's kind of 50-50 with the DXY, but we're definitely at a very crucial area right now. So either we break up or either we break down. In my book, doesn't really matter too much, because I do think there's a really good opportunity coming around for the DXY. Whether we're buying up to 104,500, 104,600, or selling off, back down to some of these lows here. These will make up for some really healthy targets, going to the downside, and then finally back to the lows there. So it's up to dollar, it's up to DXY, but I wouldn't say I'm clear cut right now as what the next move will be. Just waiting for a little bit more information. Hey, thanks, Anus. Yeah, that is the group chat for for chatting and talking to each other. People do talk and they discuss opportunities and trading opportunities. So if you do want to check it out, feel free to have a look. See. Yeah, pound AUD I'll take a look at next. So yeah, I'll touch on pound yen. Finesses I got in on Monday from price 14,734.3. Okay, we'll have a look. See, is that Nasdaq? Yeah, I think that's Nasdaq. So you go, nope, it's no sleeping till pips is secured. Tony Gold, where do you stay? Are you in the US or the UK or? Yeah, let me know. What's up, Lope Dope? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're good. Evan with the D. What time frames do you trade in? Predominantly take my trades on the hourly time frame. Sometimes I will take them on the 4H, like I've just done today. But most of my trades, 90% of my trades, 95% of my trades are done on the hourly. And sometimes I do wait for the 4H if the hourly is not quite there, or from a certain reason based on confluences, I might wait for the 4H for a bit more clarity. Because obviously the 4H candle has a little bit more strength than the hourly, so it's a bit more of a significant candle closure. So sometimes I'll wait for the 4H, but most of the time I'm entering on the hourly to refine my entry and increase my risk reward and whatnot. Yeah, we'll touch on pound AUD, then we'll go over pound yen as well. So pound Aussie. So for this particular pair, it's been very, very bullish. I am still very bullish on pound AUD. However, it might be time for some retracement with this particular market breaking through some highs. We may be coming back for a retest. We have sold off pretty aggressively, as we can see there too. But with pound AUD, I wouldn't say there's an obvious trade here to be had. So from a long perspective, I do want to see a bit more retracement. I'm looking more at this high here. I want to see a bit more retracement into that area, and then I'll look to see if I can pick it up. Similar opportunity to Euro AUD as well. So Euro AUD looking at this trend line with the retest of that structure there around 1.65861. I really do like this level. And pound AUD, we're looking at very, very similar opportunity as well. And of course, both of them are very similar pairs as well. So I'm kind of waiting for price to get to this particular area, 1.94 we'll call it. And then I'll see what we do in terms of price action and entries and whatnot for some long opportunities. But at the moment, I suppose we are testing some structure here on the left, but I don't really have much more confidence than that. I don't really like the retracement. It's kind of like an impulse up, consolidation, impulse down. Not really what I want to see. I want to see impulse and then correction and then impulse. This is kind of the characteristics I look for my continuations. I like to see a nice strong move in the trend, a corrective pullback, and then a nice strong move in the direction I'm expecting price to go in and remain in that trend. In this case scenario, did get a nice impulsive move. However, we got some sideways price action followed by an impulsive move in the opposite way. So characteristics of the pullback are not ideal, not high quality. So it might mean that we have more downside left to be had, and possibly 1.94 could be the area. So for me, for pound AUD, high time frames are still pretty bullish, daily, weekly, still seeing upside, but I do think there's a little bit more room to the downside first before we can push higher. So I'll keep an eye on 1.94, similar for EUR/AUD, but nothing for me at the moment. Okay, so the pound yen, I'll touch on that one, and Nasdaq as well. I'll go for Nasdaq first because you did mention it earlier. Okay, gold, we'll take a look as well. Anus, I just placed a sell limit on EUR/USD at 1.08549. Okay, we'll go take a look at EUR/USD. Anus is about to take a position, everyone. I'm joking. I trade 30-minute to hourly candle. Nice. How long do you stay in your trades for, Panda FX? Is it only a few candles, or do you look to swing overnight, or is it just whenever your target is hit? USA, wow, fair play, fair play. But what's the time? What's the time where you are? That's very impressive, very impressive. I have to say, because you've been the first on the stream for a few streams in a row now. So fair play. Because if it's like what 2-3 a.m. wherever you are, I'll be struggling to keep my eyes open. Okay, so let me take a look at NAS now. We'll go into pound to NASDAQ. Okay, so I mean NASDAQ, then I'll go into pound gem. Got it the wrong way around. So yeah, NASDAQ, I do like the shorts for NASDAQ at 15,387, we'll call it. It does look like a nice level of confluence based on the structure and how we're moving as well. So I'm looking at this as being the impulsive leg, and then we're seeing a nice retracement, possibly to form another lower high and attack the lows again. So I do like the shorts for NAS coming into this particular area. Longs do make sense. Higher time frames I would still say are quite bullish, although I would be careful longing into such a level as the one we're coming into, because we potentially could form a lower high and obviously collapse. But if you do start breaking through some of these areas, break through 15,500, then I probably will rule out that bearish bias altogether, and simply just looking for corrections and continuations back to the highs at 5,900, more or less 16k. But yeah, NASDAQ, I do have a bearish bias for NAS coming into this area here. I wouldn't look to sell it just yet. Not enough information for the sales will kind of just come into the area. We'd like to see a bit more development there to tell me that, okay, we're holding it before the sales. We could easily still break through this area and continue a lot higher. So I would definitely be looking for a bit more development in that area. But if we do see some more rejection, nice shift of momentum, sales do look good, and this looks like a very nice place for a TP. Back to that resistance there at 15k. Don't necessarily need to target all the way down at these lows. Of course, the risk reward will be very attractive, looking to hold a trade all the way down to those lows there, but at the same time, it's very reasonable just to take your profit at sensible areas where price might reverse against you. And this is definitely an area where price might do that. So it makes sense to take your profit at those areas. And if you want to, you might can leave some to trickle onwards as well. But yeah, US 100 still bearish bias, and I do like the sales for that one. But Finesses, you said you got into a long position on Monday. Yeah, Monday from 14,734. Let's mark down the chart. 14. All the way down here. Very nice trade. 14,734. That's like there-ish. Stop loss. Target 16,329. 16,329. Okay, so that's more or less back at the highs. Or not. 16,329. Okay, that's back at the... Okay, it's not back at quite those highs there. But that's a very big target. 16,329. So back to the weekly highs, I assume. So yeah, back to the weekly highs. So not bad. It's a nice swing trade. It's a nice swing trade. Very, very nice entry. I mean, you're comfortably in profit right now if your entry's all the way back there. So I suppose, how are you looking to manage the trade? Are you just going to let price do its thing and see if it hits your target or maybe comes back, stops you at a break even? Are you trading stops, or do you have some targets which you're taking profit along the way for the trade? Because, of course, the target all the way up there, I mean, you're not even halfway yet. So it's a very, very optimistic target. I mean, it does make sense looking to kind of follow that higher time frame daily, weekly trend. So it does make sense. But of course, you've really caught a hell of a move. So maybe it might be sensible to take some positions off. Doesn't have to be anything huge, but just to bank some profit kind of helps you hold the trade for longer as well. But of course, that's up to you, however you manage your trades. But yeah, I'm interested. How are you going to manage the trade? But yeah, looking very, very good though. Okay, so I'll touch on pound yen and gold shortly, and then we'll go over Euro USD. Pound USD, what's your analysis? We'll take a look. US 30, we'll take a look as well. Thank you so much. Is that Emmanuel? Yep, I think that was Emmanuel. Really appreciate you subscribing. If you guys are enjoying the channel, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out. And yeah, if you are enjoying it, finding it useful, make sure you do that, and also hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. But thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed so far. Okay, where was I? So GJ we'll take a look at next, and we'll go take a look at US 30, Euro USD as well, Pound USD. These charts are just crazy this week. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit weird. I mean, a lot of pairs have been kind of still more or less in consolidation, to be fair. I have seen some erratic moves here and there, particularly with gold. And some of the indices as well, but FX pairs in general haven't done anything too exciting. We did see a lot of pound weakness Tuesday, but yeah, that kind of hasn't really amounted to much. A lot of the pound pairs have reversed and seen some strength since then, but we'll see. We do have some news later today as well. Okay, so pound yen. So pound yen, I did like some sells. I still do like some sells for pound yen, but shorter term. I am still pretty bullish on the higher time frames for pound yen. So as we can see here on the daily chart, the trend is still comfortably bullish in my opinion, or it is as well. It's not really my opinion. It's pretty much a fact still that the market is very, very bullish, still seeing higher highs and higher lows. So I'm still pretty bullish for pound yen, and long term I still do see more room to the upside for this market. However, with the price action we've seen over the past couple of days, it does look like we could probably see another leg lower for pound yen. But I did say watch out for this area here at 183. It's also a strong level of resistance, and actually does line up quite nicely with that daily trend line. But more importantly, it's definitely a strong level of resistance, which could give pound yen a good bounce and start things bullish again. So although we have seen a nice down move, very strong momentum, breaking through some structure, kind of equal highs up there, shorts do look good for pound yen, but I wouldn't be looking to hold trades for too long to the downside for pound yen or any of the yen pairs really, apart from maybe AUD JPY and NZD JPY. But any other of the yen pairs, CAD yen, pound yen, euro yen, Swiss yen, pound yen, all these yen pairs are pretty firmly bullish on the higher time frame. So yeah, it does make up for some nice shorter term sells, but I am still looking for those longer term buys. Okay, so gold we'll touch on, then we'll look at Euro USD as well, US 32. Which JPY pair have more long potential? I'd probably say Swiss yen. That actually came into a nice area of confluence yesterday evening, but I didn't take the trade because it was outside of my hours. But I actually did come into a nice area of confluence, and I still do back more upside. The reason why I do like Swiss yen to the upside is because it didn't take out any of the prior lows. If you look at euro yen, it took out the low here. If you look at pound yen, it took out the low here. If you look at CAD yen, where is CAD yen? So CAD yen took out the low there as well. ADJPY and NZJPY are a little bit weird, so I'm not really looking at them in detail as with the other ones, but they're kind of in a bearish trend anyway. With ADJPY, same thing as well. And even dollar yen took out the low as well. Even dollar yen took out the low, but the Swiss yen didn't take out the low. So this tells me that the buys are still the strongest in Swiss yen compared to the other yen pairs, because we are still respecting support and not breaking through. And this one obviously held confidence quite well with that double bottom onto this trend line there too. So I do like Swiss yen for the longs. I think it's probably the best yen pair to keep buying at the moment, because from a daily, weekly, monthly standpoint, everything is just keep pumping to the upside for Swiss yen. It doesn't look like we're slowing down yet. So yeah, I would say Swiss yen is the best one to get involved with in terms of a decent entry. Unless we come back for a retest, maybe the ship has sailed. I'm not really seeing a great area to get involved unless you drop to the lower time frames and kind of ride out a smaller trend here for a retest somewhere and kind of ride it out like so. But a retest of this area, yeah, that's kind of been and gone already. So I'm not too sure you'll find an entry, a good entry to get back involved in the pair unless you scale down to the lower time frames. But I think Swiss yen is the best. Okay, so gold we'll touch on, then we'll go to take a look at Euro USD. So gold has been bullish over the past 24 hours or so. Really big move to the upside for gold, and yeah, I'm still looking at a bit more upside for it before I look for some sells. Now I am still pretty bearish on gold. You can see we had this big push to the upside, we created highs. I'm not too sure if we created all-time highs. We probably equaled them at least. But then since then, the market has been sluggishly moving to the downside as well. So I am looking at a bit more upside into this particular area here. This broken support here will now be turned resistance, looking to see if we can catch the next lower high and give us some new lows. And then, yeah, continue this move to the downside. We've got some nice areas down here on 1856, which I'm looking to target as well. So gold I'm bearish on, but at the moment I want to see a bit more upside before I start looking for some shorting opportunities. Really nice push to the upside after taking those lows there, so maybe there could be some intraday longs back up to the highs. Not really my cup of tea, but if I can see what I'm looking at in terms of break of structure, some lower lows, lower highs, I'll be keen to get into some sells and look to ride it back down into these lows here, potentially further. But from a trading standpoint, I'll probably be more than happy to take my profit down here. You know, the risk reward looks more than enough from up at those highs, more or less. But yeah, gold sales do look good, but I'm looking more around the 1930, 1940 area. So I want to see a bit more upside first, but then yeah, looking for gold to come back and attack the lows. Okay, so Euro USD. So you said you set a sell limit. Whereabouts? 1.08549, 1.08549. I mean, let me drop to the 15 because that's obviously the time frames you're trading on. 1.08549, which is more or less here. And stop loss 1.08651, 1.08651. So that's basically just above the high there. So has price tagged you in? Let me move the big blue box out of the way. Has price tagged you in? Because it looks like we've just come back into that area there. 08549, 08549. Pretty much at the area there. So yeah, has price tagged you into the trade? But I do like the stop loss. I don't like the 4H time frame because we are trading a big level of support. But it's not bad. It's not a bad trade at all. I do like it because it does favor the higher time frame trend as well. We've obviously taken out some of the lows here on the left, and we've already developed a little bit of a bearish trend here at play. Sensible place for a stop loss above the prior high. If you were to break through that, price is probably going to continue back into the bigger range, or it might just continue to the upside anyway. So I do like the trade. Well, what's the target saying? How far are you looking to hold the trade to? Is it back to the prior low here? Possibly these lows. I mean, that obviously be a very, very nice risk reward back to the lows there. Probably looking at like a 1 to 5, maybe back to the lows there, or maybe even more than that. But yeah, I'm interested where the target is. But yeah, I do like the trade. It does fit the bill in terms of the directional standpoint. Everything is still bearish pretty much for Euro USD. Still seeing higher highs and higher lows. We do have obviously this big old support level running through the market, which we were talking about on Tuesday. You were looking for price to take out these lows. Now we've got the lows running through there, so I would watch out for 1.08331 because that is where potentially we could bounce from again and possibly see some upsides that could actually make up for a good target, which is more or less this wick here on the left at 1.08350. But yeah, I do like the sells here for Euro USD. I'm still pretty bearish on the dollar pairs, although I'm waiting to see what DXY does. Okay, target 1.08289, 1.0808289. Okay, is that low there? No, it's a little bit below it. So that's more or less there. So coming back into that bearish candle there. So yeah, sensible target as well. Possibly that might cause some friction just before it, but yeah, as long as it fits the plan and it meets the confidences you're looking at. I mean, I like the trade. Again, it's not directly into the 4H zone there, so you do have a bit of room to play with. But it does follow that high time frame trend. So I do like what I'm seeing, and price has respected that resistance there too. So yeah, I do like the shorts here for Euro USD. Let's see if we can get a nice move to the downside. US 30 S&P Raja official will take a look as well, no problemo. Finessis, okay, using trailing stops in every key level. Okay, nice. As long as you've got a system to kind of manage it by, especially when you're having like very far targets, it might not be the best to be so one-dimensional. I just drew a line there. Did not mean to do that. Oh, did it again. Yep, just missed your name. Although it is at the top there. Majid probably said that very wrong, but thank you so much for subscribing to the stream. Really appreciate it. So yeah, as long as you're not too one-dimensional, especially when you have very far targets, because you know there's a lot of room for the market to fall back and go against you. So yeah, you do kind of want to mitigate against that, and trading stop loss is a good way to do it. So yeah, as long as you're protecting yourself from that downside, you know, do what you need to do. Necessarily having far targets is not a bad idea. When they do come through, obviously they make up for, you know, all the times price didn't hit the target. But as long as you're aware of that, you can manage your trade through that, manage yourself through that, then 100% go for it. Okay, so we'll take a look at US 30 S&P as well. Can you talk about liquidity, please? It's such a big problem for me. What do you mean liquidity? As in you get stopped out a lot, or you don't understand the concept of liquidity? Yeah, let me know. Is it that you're getting stopped out a lot, or you just don't understand what liquidity means? Bitcoin, sure thing, Dodger. We'll take a look. Sculpey TFX going to head off to the gym so I can be prepared for New York. Catch you later, guys. Have a good day and happy trading. Appreciate it, Sculpey TFX. Thank you for coming onto the stream. Have fun at the gym. No problem, Anus. Happy to help. Sheesh, hi. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing too. Hope you're doing good too, Sheesh. Anything you're looking at, feel free to drop it in the chat. First view. Visit to your site. Big up, Alan. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're good. But yeah, I pretty much go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Stream my trades, my analysis, share my opinions. Thank you. Oh, Alan just subscribed there. So yeah, share my opinions, my analysis, my trades. Discuss with other people. Obviously, they will share their trades, analysis, and whatever if they want to, and we'll discuss and share opinions. But yeah, welcome to the channel. Okay, so I said I was going to take a look at US 30 and US 500. So US 30, I still do like the buys. It's still kind of trading at my area of interest. So this is the weekly chart here. We've got a big old level running through the market here, and you can see we're still pretty consistent with the higher lows, 2, 3, potentially 4 there as well. So US 30 is at a very interesting area where if we hold this 34,450 level, there's a good possibility we'll probably see price come back into the highs there and possibly further as well. So there is a lot of upside potential for US 30 for the buyers, and definitely at the area we're trading at. However, as you can see with the price action on the daily, pretty much just getting consolidation at this moment in time. So like I said yesterday, wait for a breakout of this area, and if we do see a confident break to the upside, that tells us that okay, US 30 most likely, not definitely, but most likely will hold on to this area, and a little break and retest in lower time frames could make up for a nice entry. And yeah, we've got a lot of upside. We've got some targets you can have over here, some targets of that high there. That high there makes a lot of sense as well. So it's up to you how far you want to push the trade and where you want to push it to. But for US 30, I do really like the buys. It's funny because US 100 I'm a little bit bearish on. but US30 I'm very bullish on, which kind of contradicts each other. But from just purely looking at US30, buys do look good if you can start breaking through 34,600. S&P 500, this one as well. This one's coming up to some areas where potentially could sell off as well. As we can see, the market has been pretty consistent with the lower highs too, and possibly could be forming another one. So again, S&P for me still does look a little bit bearish. I wouldn't want to be buying this one just yet. Possibly could be seeing a big head and shoulder pattern on our hands here. So the shorts do make sense here for S&P coming into this area here. But I would be a little bit careful. Same thing for US 100. I will wait for a little bit more development there to show that we actually are selling off. Because at the moment, we're still seeing higher highs and higher lows on the hourly chart. And if we sustain this, we could easily continue to the upside. So if the market can start giving us some lower lows and lower highs, then some shorts will be looking a lot better. And of course, some targets back down at lows look good too. That is a horrible line. Let me draw that again. There we go. So yeah, S&P, I'm looking for a lower high to develop around where we are right now. Same thing with US 100 as well, looking for a lower high to develop and some shorts back down. But it's still a little bit early to say if we are going to sell off yet or not. So hopefully that made sense for US 500 and US 30. Miko, do you go to the gym? Yes, I do go to the gym. Can't you tell, HD? I'm joking. But yeah, I do go to the gym. I have been slacking a little bit, to be fair, the past couple of weeks. I have been slacking a little bit. Need to get back into it. But yeah, I do go to the gym. Weapons. Do you go to the gym as well, HD? Weapons took profit at the first area of lows on GU, 2.6k profit. Nice. Got stopped out on gold yesterday, looking for solid mitigation for supply to continue lower, but looks like it's already pushing. Yeah, I'm still looking to short gold as well. I think this is a really nice pullback, which could give us some nice shorts. Maybe not this week, possibly next week, because it might need some time to kind of develop a little bit. But yeah, I still like the shorts on gold. And again, you're not going to win every trade. It's all about the risk reward, letting the reward pay for itself. Obviously, the risk you encounter many times, but of course, as long as you got a decent risk reward, not bad win rate, 50%, 40% is not bad as well. You know, you will come out on top as long as you crunch the same numbers as well. And then the important thing is just making sure you're correctly managing your risk and seeing out the trades. Sheesh, how much day trader or swing trader risk in one trade? It depends on what they want to risk, but I would always advise around 1 to 2% per trade. Any more than that is a little bit much when you go through losing streaks. Say you risk 5% per trade. If you do encounter a five trade losing streak, which is very, very easy to do, 5 times 5, you're looking at down 25%. Although it can be recoverable, because of course, if you have a decent risk reward, say you got a 3R risk reward, all you have to do is win 2 trades and you're back in the money. But the psychological damage of being down 25% could be a bit of a toll, especially so, and you can have big swings in your P&L and your equity curve. So although it can be done with 5%, but I would say 1 to 2% is a reasonable, manageable size to risk per trade. That's the same thing for day traders, swing traders. But sometimes you can see like scalpers, they might not risk 1% per trade. They may reduce to 0.5, because if they're taking 3, 4, 5 trades a day, then it can get quite excessive if you're risking 1, 2% per trade. A losing streak can happen very, very quickly, and they're kind of back to back. They're more frequent as well because you're trading more often. So yeah, it can get quite ugly if you're not on point, if you're scalping and taking a lot of trades. But yeah, 1 to 2% is a good amount to stick to. Or even lower as well, 0.5%, 0.25%, whatever you're comfortable with. I have looked at AUSD. I will touch on it again shortly. I am interested in it, but Yeah, definitely very bearish on that one. Can I sell from 1920? Again, you shouldn't be asking me if you can sell from 1920. It's not really. Because if you ask me should I sell, then that's basically giving your capital in the power of someone else, which you should never do really. So at the end of the day, if you do sell or if you do buy whatever and you take a win or a loss, it's your money on the line at the end of the day. So if you're not too sure what you're doing, then best thing to do is make sure you're trading on a demo account, or at least money you can afford to lose. But I will touch on gold shortly. But yeah, I'll give you my opinion, but I wouldn't say if you should sell or not. Anyway, so which pair? Bitcoin. Yeah, I'll go on Bitcoin next. I'll take a look at gold after as well. So yeah, Bitcoin, we did see some upside yesterday. We did have a very, very, very big sell-off. Was it Friday? No, last week Thursday. Very big sell-off to the downside last week Thursday. And I'm expecting Bitcoin to go and take out these lows now, because we had a very strong impulsive move to the upside over here. And I was looking for this big move to go and take out the highs down the left, which we did take out, but it wasn't confident. It wasn't confident like the move we had over here. We had a very strong impulsive move, which completely obliterated the highs there. We came up, formed new higher highs, came back for a solid retest. So you can see the market is very convincingly bullish. Even with this big move here, we took out the highs there in a very kind of impulsive, strong manner. So you can see there's a lot of buying pressure. There's a lot of buys in the market at that moment, and then things look good for the buyers. However, we did see a really nice big move to the upside, but only just about took out the highs there. So I've been looking for more momentum to come back in and for us to keep going and take out the highs, keep that pattern up. But the fact that we sold off very aggressively to the downside and we haven't seen that strong momentum come back into play, it's not a good sign for Bitcoin, and we're quite likely to go and take out these lows now rather than suddenly shoot to the upside and go and take out the highs. There's a possibility, of course, but more likely than not, we are going to take out those lows there. So Bitcoin, for me, I'm looking at some upside, but I do think it will be short-lived, and I do think eventually we'll take another dive to the downside for Bitcoin. There might be some buys later on, but right now I would say I'm quite bearish on Bitcoin. There isn't a particular area of interest apart from this level up here that looks very, very good. So I did mention this area here as a brief doji on the lower time frames, which is a brief area of support on like the 15-minute chart, as you can see there. So that could prove to be an important area for Bitcoin. But yeah, it's just not the best area, I would have to admit. But yeah, I do think Bitcoin's got a lot more downside left for it. I'm looking at price taking out 24,800 and possibly going further back to these areas here on the left as well. So it was that 21,700 and also this price one low 21,830. So that's what I'm looking for Bitcoin to head to next. I can't hold a trade to 1 to 5 risk reward low. Yeah, 1 to 5 is quite a lot. It's quite a lot. I mean, from social media, you probably think 1 to 5 is quite a common risk reward, but it's not. 1 to 5 is a very big risk reward. 5 times your risk. That's a very good return on investment. If you're risking $100 and you make $500 on a particular trade, that's very, very good going. So yeah, 1 to 5. It's a lot. I mean, my average risk reward is around a 1 to 3, but sometimes I will push 1 to 4. I think the biggest trade I had this year was around a 1 to 5 or maybe a 1 to 6 on Euro Yen, and that was like February. But of course I didn't take home the full 1 to 5, 1 to 6 or whatever it was, because I do take partial, so it's more like a 1 to 4 in terms of what I took home. But the risk reward itself was like around 5 to 6. I've only done that once this whole year. So yeah, I don't like pushing my trades too far. I'm quite comfortable around the 1 to 3. And also I know what my strategy gives me as well. I'm not going to try and push for 1 to 5s, 1 to 6s and beyond, when I know that typically my trades reverse at around the 1 to 3 mark. when I'm in profit. Typically, they get to around 1 to 3 before they kind of get tired and want to reverse. So that's kind of where I want to be taking my profit most of the time. Sometimes, from a trade to trade standpoint, things change. Sometimes it might make sense to hold them for a little bit longer or take your profit a little bit quicker. But normally around the 1 to 3 is kind of the soft spot for my trading. So trying to hold for any longer than that might do more harm than good. Although on paper it always looks nice for a 1 to 5. You hit 2 1 to 5s in a row, you make 10%. Yeah, that's good going. But then you forget about how long you have to hold on for that 1 to 5 to come into play. Not necessarily the time you have to hold on for, but just seeing the fluctuations and seeing 1 to 3 and just being robotic and just ignoring that and holding on to the full TP is quite difficult. Once held a gold trade 1 to 30. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is very, very crazy as well. See when you hold trades to that extent, like 130, like what's going through your head at 1 to 20? Because I'm thinking at 1 to 20, why on earth would I hold to 1 to 30 when I could just bank 1 to 20 here? So yeah, like 1 to 25, what you thinking? Let me just hold on for an extra 5 more. Kudos to you. I wouldn't be doing that anytime soon, but yeah, the discipline, the patience for that is very, very is extremely hard, because 1 to 10, 1 to 15, these are some big numbers here. Anyway, so what was I going to take a look at? Pound AD. I was supposed to look at pound AD before. I'll touch on that as well. Gold. I will take a look at gold as well. US 100 going up now. They touched 4H order block zone and they will push. Okay, we'll take a look at US 100. It's at a nice area for some sells, but last time I looked it wasn't quite ready yet, but we'll take a look. USD as well, no problem. Time to entry and tie to stops, easy 1 to 5. Yeah, of course. The tie to the entry, tie to the stops, 100%. But you're going to decrease your win rate overall in the long run. So it looks nice on paper. If you have a tie to stop loss and a tie to entry, it looks good on paper. The 1 to 5 is actually not that far. You can get away with like a 25 pip target and that will be a 1 to 5, or 20 pip target and that will be a 1 to 5 with a very tight stop loss. But you're going to have a lot more stop losses in the long run, and you can have a very low win rate in the long run as well, which does compensate as well. So it doesn't really make too much. It doesn't really cause too much damage, because your risk reward will make up for the lower win rate. But if you're happy for the lower win rate, then yeah, go for it. Yeah, USD would take a look. Low, it's my craziest trade till date. I took $100 account to almost 5k. Yeah, that's insane. You should do what FX Alex G is doing. A little $100 to a mil. Just keep going. I'm joking. Anyway, so we'll take a look at gold. So gold's been quite popular today, but yeah, my analysis is pretty much the same for this one. I'm still looking at some sells, but it's just a little bit too early days to be looking at shorting just yet. So I'm still looking at a little bit more upside into 1930, 1935, and then I'm looking at some sells there. So that's the plan. That's the plan for gold. Everything is pretty bullish right now, but I wouldn't even say there's good buys on the table at the moment. Kind of had a very erratic push to the upside, so I wouldn't really try to be getting long up here. Some nice areas down here, but we need to retrace there, of course, for that to become an opportunity. Right now, we're kind of a little bit choppy. You might kind of continue in this kind of corrective nature to the highs. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for gold, but yeah, still very bearish on it. It's looking for us to return back to the lows there at 18, 19 area. So that's the plan going forward. But I wouldn't say sell gold now. Yeah, pound NZD will take a look as well. I'll do Euro NZD first, then we'll take a look at pound. I'll also go through AUSD as well for MAFU. The biggest risk reward I took away 1 to 4 on pound USD, but I was planning to exit 1 to 3. I was lucky. Yeah, sometimes you do get away. You know, a lot of the time you get punished for doing that. You know, not getting out when you're supposed to, and then it reverses against you. But sometimes you get rewarded because again, it is probabilities at the end of the day. So sometimes you do something you're not supposed to, like take a trade you're not supposed to take, or stay in longer, and you get rewarded for it. And it's quite bad because if you get sold that opportunity that it did work, you might repeat that mistake again and again, just because it worked in the past. But yeah, sometimes you do get rewarded. That's probably happened to me a few times, not for a while though. I'm normally quite stubborn when price gets to my target. I want to get out of the trade as soon as possible and bank that profit. So I don't really have that much urge in me to hold into the trade for longer. But yeah, probably back in the day I would have done that a few times. Actually, I know I would have done that a few times. Anyway, so we'll take a look at Euro NZD. So Euro NZD still pretty bullish on this market here as well. Still seeing higher highs and higher lows on the daily time frame, as we can see successive higher lows for quite a while now. So the direction is still very much to the upside. I'm looking at price coming back into this area here for some buys. At the moment, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere for pound for Euro NZD. I suppose we are retesting some structure here on the left, but nothing of too much importance. We've broken through some of these lows here as well. This kind of corrective channel there. So I'm looking at us coming down to the downside a little bit further into 1.805, and then from here we'll start looking for some entries to take it back up again. So I do like what I'm seeing with Euro NZD. Higher time frames look good. 4H looks good as well. Looks like we're coming into that retracement mode. But I want price to come a little bit further down to that 1.805. I keep saying the wrong numbers. 1.805, and then probably some buys later on. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just kind of waiting for a little bit more retracement for USD. But in terms of the buys, in terms of the direction, very much still bullish on the pair. Still looking at more upside, and pound NZD probably be something similar too. So yeah, this one crazy move to the upside as of recent. Looks like we are seeing some retracement now. I am looking for the wick up here to be taken out of pound NZD, but it looks like we're going through some retracement first. So I do like the area back down here, but I'm not too sure if we'll get there. It's a bit of an ask for pound NZD to retrace all of that to come back down, and even if we do that, it probably wouldn't look good for buys going forward. But what I would like to see with pound NZD is some development, some higher highs, higher lows, and then breaking and retest some structure, and then getting involved on a retest somewhere. Because right now I don't really have too much information of what I expect next. Probably some lower time frame sells, retesting some of this area here. I might see another drop to the downside before we do start seeing some nice buys later. So keep an eye on some short-term sells. But for me, I do still favor more upside. But if you're on the lower time frames, keep an eye on 2.137, 2.135. There might still be a nice short opportunity there on the hourly stroke, maybe 30 or 15 minute chart for some buys at a later date. So that's kind of what I'm favoring for pound NZD. Running profits in Euro USD and Euro CAD. Nice. Are you long or short on Euro CAD and Euro USD? You buying or selling? Matt2645. Yeah, you just got to choose your trades better. Yeah, true. Obviously easier said than done. What's up? Can I say? Welcome to the stream. Can you talk about market sentiment? Did market sentiment influence your trade? No, I do not look at market sentiment for my trades. Not that it's not useful, it's just that I don't use it in my trading. I'm a purely technical trader, so that's where my decision making comes from. Market sentiment doesn't really play a part in my trading decisions. I'm kind of aware of it, so I can kind of tell what market sentiment would be from a retail perspective, not institutional perspective, but from a retail perspective, I can kind of see what the sentiment would be with most markets. For an uptrending market sentiment would be bearish. So the average retail trader will be looking to sell a bullish trend, and vice versa. If the market is bearish, the average retail trader will be looking to buy. So I can understand market sentiment from that perspective. So for example, pound NZD, I haven't looked at the market sentiment, but I know that majority of traders will probably be bearish on pound NZD. And normally the stronger the trend, the more bearish the retail trader is. So if it's a very, very strong trend, really bullish, breaking highs and continues moving to the upside, then the average retail trader will be quite aggressively bearish on that particular market. So I can kind of see that from I don't really need to look at data for that, but from an institutional perspective, then yeah, of course I would, but I don't look at it. I don't look at COT data or any of that. I just look at the price action, and if it fits my plan, I'm in the trade. So yeah, just did pound NZD, but we are coming up to the end of the stream, so any last minute pairs, feel free to let me know. But like I said, I'm currently in two positions, AUD CAD shorts and pound CAD longs. Again, they do kind of contradict each other, but I'm going to see how they play out. I haven't been in any trades in a while, so that's probably played a little bit part, me trying to get into some more trades. But pound CAD fit my plan to a T, and so did AUD CAD as well. We're going to see how they plan out. One's on the 4H, one's on the hourly. I have been stopped out my pound CAD position on my funded account, so that would be another break-even trade there. But I haven't taken the AUD CAD position on my funded account because I was still in pound CAD at the time. But at least that gives some content for episode 3, so that should definitely be coming out next, tomorrow actually. It should be coming out Friday. So yeah, I mean, now that that's the case, I'm still going to manage these trades on my personal account. I'm not really looking at taking another trade because I've already got 2 trades running at risk at the moment, so I'm not really keen to take another position until I can get at least one of them to break even, or at least one of them gets stopped out or hits TP. So yeah, that's kind of my thought process going into the end of the week, kind of just managing those trades there, not really looking to do too much now. I do like the yen pairs on the upside, so I will be looking for some development for those pairs, but I don't think I'll get anything till next week anyway, and I won't be looking to take another position anyway, so that does make some sense. But yeah, there's nothing else that really does take my attention. There's some good pairs, like gold looks good, but I think that'll be more for next week. Okay, Euro USD and Euro CAD short on both. Okay, yeah, Euro CAD's a little bit choppy, but Euro USD does have a bit of a bearish trend about it. Dollar CAD, okay, we'll touch on that one. Dollar yen, what about that? I bought it 2 hours ago. Okay, we'll take a look at dollar yen as well. CAD seat chef, no problem. No problem, Tony Gold, you get to sleep, bro. You get to sleep, rest, get some shut eye. But I appreciate it. Matt, nice 4H hour swing level, then wait for a reversal pattern liquidity candle on 15-minute chart. Makes 1 to 5 very easy for swings. My problem is entering before that because I'm not on the charts. Okay, well, at least you understand what the problem is. A lot of people don't understand what their problem is in their trading, so at least you understand that from that perspective. But yeah, I mean, I kind of have a similar strategy to you, but just kind of slightly bumped up a couple time frames. Obviously I'm looking to enter predominantly on the hourly time frame. I'm looking at the 4H structure and the daily structure for direction, and I'm planning my swings. Anis, bro, if you follow your plan and you take a loss, what do you consider as a reason of the loss? Just a loss, just an outcome of my plan. Because in my plan, I plan to lose as well. You know, I plan for a trade that meets my criteria, that meets my confluences, and if I follow all that to a T, as I don't make any mistakes, I do exactly what my plan told me to, and it's a loss, then that's part of the plan as well. That's part of the plan as well. So The reason of the loss is just I just charge it to probability. So I don't really necessarily put a reason for the loss. If I do take a loss and it fits the plan, I just put loss but followed my plan. I just put loss but follow my plan, but I don't put okay, I missed this particular element here, or I missed this particular element here. If I do, because there's two ways to look at it, because you can follow your plan, but then you can also take a low quality position. So if you do follow your plan, as in, okay, it ticks the boxes 1, 2, 3, but it was just a low quality trade, maybe you took it into an area of structure you know is not the best place, or the entry wasn't quite there, or maybe you're buying into a level of supply or whatever. So there might be a scenario where you could have gone, okay, I was buying into an area that which didn't really make too much sense to do it. Although it did fit my plan and ticked all the boxes, it didn't really make too much sense buying at this area here. So that could be a nice side note you leave. But as long as it did fit your plan, then it's just probabilities. It just didn't play out that time. So I try and have a fine balance between trying to not kind of dig into every trade, because if you do that, it can get quite stressful, because it's probabilities at the end of the day. You have to take a loss somewhere. You don't want to try and solve every loss that you take, because you don't have all the variables, you don't have all the information in the market, so you can't solve the problem. But if you took the trade, it fits your plan, it was a high quality trade as well, then yeah, I just charge it to probability and I move on to the next one. So there's nothing really much to learn there. But if it was a low quality position that did fit the plan, then I can say why it was a low quality, X, Y, Z, and then I'll move on from that. So that's kind of how I journal from that perspective. Anyway, I'll finish up on dollar CAD, dollar yen, and CAD Swiss. Whenever I do trade, I always know if I lose the trade, it's okay. If I win 1 to 3 profits, yep. That's kind of the way I look to tackle it as well. Okay, so yeah, dollar CAD. I said I am bullish on the pair, but we are kind of consolidating right now. So I'm pausing on my bullish bias, because in this area here, we got a clean range, support over there, resistance over there. So I'm kind of waiting for price either to break to the downside or break to the upside. This was our fake out yesterday, and yeah, the direction on the lower time frames is sideways. So for dollar CAD, I'm neutral. I'm waiting for price to break out, give me a bit more of a trend to work with. So keep an eye on a break of 1.35 or a break of 1.357, and then we can look to see what price can do after that. But yeah, pretty neutral on dollar CAD until we break through the high or break through the low. Dollar yen, I am pretty bullish on. I do like the bias for this particular market. We're back above a key area of confluence. As we can see, this 145 level up there and this trend line connecting the lows. And we did break through, but we came quickly back above it. So I'm expecting price to push back to the highs there at 146,500. That's what I'm expecting price to come back into next, as long as we stay above 145, this area here. So I'm still bullish on dollar yen and CAD chef, which we haven't looked at yet on the stream. This one had a very, very aggressive wick to the downside, piercing through those lows, but quickly recovered. So maybe CAD chef is getting ready for a move to the upside. Very, very choppy consolidation here, wick to the downside, possibly might be seeing a move higher. So if that is the case, you would want price to break through some structures to show some evidence that we are reversing. We do have a nice high over here, which is part of our lower high. If we can break through that, get a nice little retest of that structure, then I would fancy the buys there. Still counter trend, but we do have that big wick to the downside adding to the confluence, so it's not a bad trade altogether. I just wouldn't hold that trade for too long. Maximum these highs here, and look to get out the trade, because it is still bearish and we could still sell off at any point. But if we can break above 0.65172, buys do look good above that area. But yeah, guys, hope you have enjoyed this stream. We have come up to the end of it. I will be live shortly. I will be live again shortly with Trader Nick on his channel. So I will leave the link to that stream in the Telegram. So if you are free, feel free to go and check it out if you want to. But again, guys, thanks so much for coming on to the streams this week. I will be live again next week, same time as always. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I will be dropping the episode 3 of my prop firm challenge on Friday, so that should be out tomorrow, and obviously the normal weekly analysis on the weekend as well. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming on the stream. We do appreciate it. Check out the Telegram link in the description if you haven't done already, and also I do have my affiliate link to IC Markets. If you're looking for a broker, feel free to check them out. But if you have enjoyed the stream, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you all next week or later on TradingX channel.